Welcome to West Asia. Did you know that West Asia is called the cradle of civilization? Deep in the land of Mesopotamia, ancient civilizations like Sumer, Akkad, Babylon, and Assyria rose thousands of years ago. This region is not just the birthplace of early cities, but also the heartland where three of the world's major monotheistic religions began: Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. The most sacred cities of Islam lie right on the Arabian Peninsula, echoing with stories of faith and tradition that still resonate around the world. West Asia holds a timeless beauty, from ancient ruins to vibrant cultures, that invites us to explore its deep roots and living heritage. So how did this small corner of the world influence the course of human history so profoundly? Stay with me as we explore the incredible stories, stunning landscapes, and timeless culture of West Asia. You'll soon see why this land is truly one of a kind. Did you know that Lake Tuz is one of the largest salt lakes in the world? Located in central Turkey, this shallow lake stretches about 50 miles long and 30 miles wide, making it a huge white and pink salt flat most of the year. Because it has no rivers flowing out, the salty water slowly dries up in summer, leaving thick layers of salt covering the ground. This salt has been collected for centuries, and today, the lake produces over half of Turkey's salt, used for cooking and industry. Lake Tuz sits over a deep basin formed millions of years ago by movements in the Earth's crust, creating the perfect place for salt to gather. The lake's pink color appears mostly in summer, caused by tiny microorganisms that thrive in the salty water. Nearby towns depend on the salt mining industry, which helps the local economy and provides jobs for many people. Climate here is dry with very little rain, and strong winds often blow across the flat salt surface, making it a unique natural landscape. Now, before we move on to the next destination, here's a fun question for you. Which country is not in West Asia? Comment your answer below. From a distance, Pamukkale appears like a snow-covered mountainside, shimmering in the Anatolian sun. Its name means Cotton Castle in Turkish, a tribute to the brilliant white travertine terraces shaped over thousands of years by calcite-rich hot springs. These terraces stretch 2,700 meters across the hillside, with thermal waters flowing into tiered pools that stay between 35 degrees Celsius and 100 degrees Celsius. Above them lies the ancient city of Hierapolis, founded in the 2nd century BC as a Greco-Roman spa, and later famed across the empire for its healing baths. The area was struck by a devastating earthquake in AD 17, yet it continued to flourish under Byzantine rule. Pamukkale and Hierapolis together were declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1988, recognized for both natural beauty and archaeological importance. Today, visitors walk barefoot along warm terraces, treading the same waters that have drawn travelers for over 2 millennia. If you are watching this, please click the subscribe button in the corner of the screen. It's completely free, but means a lot to us. Iztuzu Beach is a long, narrow strip of sand in southwestern Turkey, where endangered loggerhead turtles come to lay their eggs. This beach forms a natural barrier between fresh river water and the salty Mediterranean Sea, creating a special environment for turtles and other wildlife. Since 1988, Iztuzu has been protected to keep the turtles safe from damage by tourists and development. In the 1980s, plans to build a large hotel here sparked a worldwide campaign to save the beach and the turtles' nesting sites. Thanks to the efforts of environmentalists and support from international groups, the hotel was stopped and the area became a special protected zone. Every year, turtles return to Iztuzu to bury their eggs in the soft sand, continuing a fragile cycle that has lasted for thousands of years. Iztuzu is not just a beautiful beach, it's a symbol of hope for endangered animals and a reminder to care for the planet. Carved directly out of sandstone rock, El-Deir Monastery dates back to the mid-1st century AD. This iconic structure is Petra's second most visited site, just after the famous treasury. To reach it, visitors must climb nearly 800 steps, a 40-minute walk from the basin area. The monastery's massive facade towers 47 meters high and 48 meters wide, showcasing a stunning blend of architectural styles. Its design combines Hellenistic Corinthian columns with Mesopotamian elements, like the large entrance and simple window-like depressions. Originally, the monastery likely served religious purposes and was later used as a church during Byzantine times. The flat area in front of the building was leveled by human hands to host social and religious gatherings. From its elevated position, the monastery offers breathtaking views over the valleys of Wadi Araba and the surrounding desert landscape. Al-Khazneh, or the Treasury, is Petra's most famous and elaborate rock-cut tomb. Carved in sandstone in the early 1st century AD, it is believed to have been built as a mausoleum for King Aradus IV. Its name comes from a legend that the urn on its second level hides treasures, though it is actually solid stone. The structure's intricate facade features a mix of Nabatean craftsmanship and Hellenistic influences. Al-Khazneh was rediscovered by Swiss explorer Johann Ludwig Burckhardt in 1812, reigniting interest in Petra. Tourism at the Treasury and Petra as a whole now contributes significantly to Jordan's economy. However, the large crowds cause damage. Touching and leaning on the sandstone have worn away parts of the monument. The Treasury gained global fame after featuring in the 1989 film Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. It has also appeared in many other films, TV shows, video games, and even music videos, cementing its status as a cultural icon. Tachara Palace was the private palace of Darius the Great, built over 2,500 years ago in Persepolis, Iran. It was started by Darius I, but finished by his son Xerxes after Darius died. This palace is special because it survived when much of Persepolis was burned down by Alexander the Great's army. Tachara is the smallest palace on the terrace, made from the finest gray stone and built with amazing craftsmanship. Though it looks like a home, Tachara was mostly used for important events and rituals, not everyday living. Lake Urmia, once the largest salt lake in the Middle East, is now slowly coming back to life after years of near disappearance. Stretching over 2,000 square miles, this vast lake is famous for its extremely salty waters. So salty, in fact, that it's even saltier than many oceans. The lake lies in northwestern Iran, surrounded by towering mountains and volcanic plateaus, creating a breathtaking natural frame. For decades, Lake Urmia shrank dramatically because of drought and the damming of rivers that feed it. At one point, it had lost nearly 90% of its water volume. But thanks to recent efforts to restore the lake, it's now filling up again, bringing hope back to the region's wildlife and people. Over a third of Socotra's plant species exist nowhere else on Earth, making it one of the most unique ecosystems known to science. This remote island lies about 340 kilometers southeast of Yemen, in the Indian Ocean, and covers roughly 3,600 square kilometers. Its signature plant, the dragon's blood tree, produces a crimson resin once used in medicines, dyes, and even ancient rituals. Socotra's isolation, separated from mainland Africa and Arabia for millions of years, allowed rare species to evolve without outside influence. The central Hagia Mountains rise to over 1,500 meters, creating microclimates that shelter unique birds and reptiles. UNESCO designated the island a World Heritage Site in 2008, recognizing its global ecological importance. For nature lovers, Socotra is a living museum of evolution, offering sights and species found nowhere else in the world. Has this destination just made its way onto your travel list? Drop a 1 if you've been, or a 2 if it's now on your must-see list. Imagine a lake so salty you can't sink no matter how hard you try. Sounds amazing, right? This is the Dead Sea, a magical place where the water is almost 10 times saltier than the ocean. It lies in the Jordan Rift Valley, bordered by Jordan, Israel, and the West Bank. The surface of the Dead Sea is nearly 440 meters below sea level, making it the lowest point on Earth's land. Because of its extreme saltiness, almost no plants or animals can live here. That's why it's called the Dead Sea. But this unique lake has been attracting visitors for thousands of years. People have come here not only to float and relax, but also for its healing minerals and history. Long ago, the Dead Sea's salt and bitumen were even used by the Egyptians for mummification. Today, tourists from around the world visit to feel the strange buoyancy and explore its beautiful shores. AlUla has been inhabited by many civilizations, from Neolithic peoples to the Romans and Ottomans. The city was a key stop on the historic incense trade route, connecting Arabia with the Mediterranean and beyond. Nearby, the UNESCO World Heritage Site of Hagia showcases well-preserved Nabatean tombs and architecture. AlUla's landscape features striking rock formations, deep canyons, and lush palm-filled oases in contrast to the surrounding desert. Thousands of ancient inscriptions on nearby mountains reveal the development of early Arabic languages. Today, AlUla is a growing city within Medina province, home to over 60,000 residents. Efforts by UNESCO and Saudi Arabia's Royal Commission are preserving AlUla's heritage and encouraging sustainable tourism. The city blends ancient history with modern growth, making it a unique cultural destination. We pull info from all sorts of places. If you spot something off or have more to share, drop a comment. We'd love to hear from you. According to local legend, Ayia Napa began with the discovery of a sacred icon hidden in a seaside cave. The cave later became the heart of a monastery, giving the town its name, Ayia meaning holy, and Napa meaning wooded valley in Greek. In the late 15th or early 16th century, the Venetians built a church here, which still stands as part of the monastery complex. One tale tells of a Venetian noblewoman who chose the monastery for seclusion after her family forbade her from marrying a commoner. The area remained sparsely inhabited until around 1790, when settlers from Thessaloniki moved here during Ottoman rule. Over time, the town expanded from a quiet religious site into a thriving fishing community. Ayia Napa is now Cyprus's largest resort, attracting over 700,000 visitors annually. It is home to 27 beaches, 14 of which have earned the Blue Flag Award for cleanliness and safety, the highest number for any resort in Cyprus. Few cities have ruled empires across 2 continents, but Istanbul has done so for over 16 centuries. Founded as Byzantium by Greek settlers in the 7th century BC, it later became Constantinople, the capital of the Roman and Byzantine empires. In 1453, the Ottomans captured the city, transforming it into the heart of their empire and the seat of the last Islamic caliphate. Istanbul's location on the Bosphorus gave it control over the only sea route between the Black Sea and the Mediterranean. Its streets and hills still carry the legacies of palaces, mosques, and churches built by rulers from different eras. The historic peninsula, now a UNESCO World Heritage Site, preserves monuments from each chapter of its history. In the 20th century, Turkey moved its capital to Ankara, but Istanbul remained the nation's cultural and economic hub. Today, it is home to more than 15 million people and ranked among the world's most visited cities in 2024. Commissioned by Sultan Ahmed I in 1609, Blue Mosque rose at a time when Ottoman law said such monuments should be funded by war spoils. Yet the Sultan had won no major victories. Despite protests from scholars, construction began beside the ancient hippodrome, directly across from the Hagia Sophia, in a deliberate show of imperial ambition. Its architect, Sedefkar Mehmed Aga, blended classical Ottoman design with Byzantine influences, creating a central dome flanked by 4 semi-domes and 6 towering minarets. Over 20,000 handmade Iznik tiles cover the walls, their predominantly blue patterns giving the mosque its popular name. When completed in 1617, it was the last great imperial mosque of the classical Ottoman era, cementing Ahmed I's legacy despite his short reign. UNESCO added it to the Historic Areas of Istanbul World Heritage Site list in 1985, ensuring its protection for future generations. They say a beautiful Armenian princess named Tamar once lived here, secretly in love with a young man from the mainland. Each night, he would swim across the dark waters, guided only by the lantern she held aloft on the shore. One fateful evening, her father discovered their secret meetings and smashed the lantern, leaving the boy lost in the vast lake. Through the cold, endless waves, he struggled toward her voice until exhaustion overcame him, his last breath carrying the cry, "Ak, Tamar! Oh, Tamar!" That final plea became the name of the island, Akdamar, a breathtaking place standing out in the shimmering blue waters of Lake Van. Only 3 kilometers from the shore, the island rises with a dramatic limestone cliff to the west and soft, fertile slopes to the east. For over 1,000 years, its most striking treasure has been the Holy Cross Cathedral, built between 915 and 921 by King Kayaköy of the Armenian Kingdom of Vaspurakan. Carved from pink volcanic stone, the church walls come alive with intricate reliefs of biblical scenes, saints, and animals. Tragedy struck in 1915 when the monastery was destroyed and its monks were killed during the Armenian genocide. Today, the cathedral has been restored, and visitors walk among wildflowers, breathing in the scent of spring that floats across the lake. High on a rocky slope near Doğu Beyazıt, with snow-capped mountains as its backdrop, stands the magnificent Ishak Pasha Palace. It took nearly a century to complete, beginning in 1685 and reaching its final form in 1784, blending Ottoman, Persian, and Seljuk styles into one grand vision. Its ornate eastern portal, carved with Seljuk-inspired reliefs, greets travelers like a gate to another world. Built during the decline of fortress warfare, the palace's defenses were light, focusing instead on beauty, comfort, and status. From its terraces, Pashas once looked over the Silk Road routes that carried goods, ideas, and cultures between East and West. UNESCO praises it as a masterpiece of mixed architecture, with touches of Western influence layered over centuries-old traditions. It stands alone in a windswept valley, a timeless guardian of Eastern Anatolia's history and dreams. Cappadocia's famous fairy chimneys are towering rock formations that glow with shifting colors at sunset. They formed millions of years ago when volcanic ash settled and hardened into soft rock called tuff. Over time, wind and water erosion carved the softer rock away, leaving the harder, whimsical spires standing tall. During Roman times, Christians fleeing persecution carved homes, churches, and entire underground cities into this soft stone. These hidden refuges could shelter thousands, with ventilation shafts disguised as wells and massive rolling stone doors. Above ground, the Göreme churches boast vivid frescoes dating back to the 11th century, beautifully preserved through time. Visitors flock here to take sunrise hot air balloon rides, floating over this surreal, ancient terrain. Ölüdeniz means Dead Sea because the water here stays very calm even when storms hit nearby seas. This famous lagoon is on Turkey's southwest coast, where the Aegean and Mediterranean seas meet, creating clear turquoise water surrounded by soft sandy beaches. Ölüdeniz is well known for paragliding, with flights starting from the high Mount Babada, giving visitors amazing views of the sea and coast below. The lagoon itself is protected as a nature reserve, so building and construction are not allowed to keep the area clean and beautiful. Ölüdeniz's calm waters are perfect for swimming and snorkeling, where you can see colorful fish and underwater caves. The larger beach area, called Beylikdüzü, has soft sand and space for sunbathers, while the lagoon offers a peaceful swimming spot, protected from waves. Summer temperatures here can reach up to 40 degrees Celsius, but the cool sea breeze makes it comfortable for visitors. Alanya sits on a small peninsula where the Taurus Mountains meet the Mediterranean Sea, making it a natural stronghold through many centuries. Its strategic location meant it was ruled by many empires, including the Romans, Byzantines, Seljuks, and Ottomans, each leaving their mark on the city. The Seljuk Sultan Alaaddin Keykubat made Alanya the winter capital of his empire in the 13th century, building the famous Red Tower and fortress walls that still stand today. Alanya's castle sits high above the city, guarding important ports that once connected the Mediterranean trade routes to Egypt and Italy. The city's name comes from Sultan Alauddin himself, who helped transform it into a bustling center of culture, politics, and commerce. Tourism became the main industry in Alanya after the 1950s, drawing visitors with its warm climate, clear blue waters, and historic sites. The city was nominated for UNESCO World Heritage status because of its cultural importance and well-preserved medieval architecture. High on a steep cliff in Turkey's Pontic Mountains, Sumela Monastery looks like it's hanging between earth and sky at 1,200 meters above sea level. Built around 386 AD, it became a powerful religious center and a place of refuge during the Byzantine and Empire of Trebizond times. Legend says the monastery was founded by two monks who discovered an icon of the Virgin Mary, believed to be painted by the Apostle Luke himself. Sumela was rebuilt many times and became richly decorated under emperors who valued its spiritual and cultural role. After the Ottoman conquest in 1461, the monastery was protected and remained active, attracting monks and pilgrims for centuries. In the 20th century, political changes caused the monastery to be abandoned, and parts of it fell into ruin. Recently restored, Sumela now welcomes tourists eager to see its dramatic location and historic beauty within El-Deir National Park. Every August 15th, a special service is held there, drawing visitors from Greece, Georgia, and beyond. Few towns have preserved their Ottoman-era charm as perfectly as Safranbolu, a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1994. Nestled in a deep ravine and sheltered by mountains, Safranbolu's historic center is filled with over 1,000 registered architectural treasures. Its name combines saffron and the Greek polis. The town's unique climate, caught between Black Sea moisture and Anatolian dryness, has helped preserve its wooden structures for centuries. In addition to homes, Safranbolu boasts old mosques, Turkish baths, caravanserais, and fountains. Saffron is still cultivated nearby in the village of Davutobas, continuing a centuries-old tradition tied to the town's identity. Göreme Open Air Museum is the pinnacle of Cappadocia's medieval religious art. Dating mainly from the 11th century, these churches served as monastic centers and pilgrimage sites, nestled in volcanic cliffs. Recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1985, the museum preserves these fragile artworks with careful restoration and visitor management. Though it occupies just a fraction of the larger Göreme Valley, the museum is the most accessible showcase of Cappadocia's cave church heritage. The site's preservation is a balance between welcoming thousands of tourists and protecting priceless cultural heritage. Visitors to the museum walk through history carved in stone, experiencing the spiritual devotion and artistic mastery of Byzantine monks. Ortahisar Castle is carved entirely from a single volcanic rock, towering 86 meters above the town of Ortahisar. Unlike typical castles with walls and battlements, Ortahisar's strength lies in its intricate network of rooms and tunnels hollowed from soft stone. The castle served as a refuge and stronghold for centuries, protecting its inhabitants through Byzantine and Ottoman eras. Legends say a revered Muslim saint arrived at Ortahisar in the 12th century with his family from faraway Uzbekistan, making this fortress a place of both spiritual and historical significance. The name of the town itself means Middle Castle, hinting at its central role in local defense. Once a quiet village, Ortahisar has blossomed into a charming destination, with traditional stone houses converted into welcoming hotels. Visitors can explore Ortahisar Castle for a small fee, stepping inside a fortress that blends natural beauty with human ingenuity. Carved directly into volcanic rock, Selime Monastery is the largest religious structure in Cappadocia. Its cathedral-sized church and weathered frescoes tell the story of centuries of faith and devotion. Built in the 8th or 9th century, the monastery was once home to monks, complete with kitchens, stables, and living quarters. Over centuries, many civilizations passed through here, from Hittites and Romans to Seljuk Turks and Ottomans. In the 10th and 11th centuries, Selime Monastery served as a caravanserai for traders traveling along the Silk Road. This role ended in the 16th century, and the site has remained abandoned ever since. Today, visitors can reach Selime Monastery by hiking through the Ihlara Valley, passing rock-hewn churches and villages along the way. In the heart of Istanbul stands Hagia Sophia, a building that has served three great faiths over nearly 1,500 years. Completed in AD 537 under Emperor Justinian I, it was the largest enclosed space in the world and a masterpiece of Byzantine architecture. Its massive dome, supported by innovative pendentives, seemed to float on light, streaming through 40 windows at its base. For almost 1,000 years, Hagia Sophia was the Cathedral of Constantinople and the spiritual center of the Eastern Orthodox Church. After the Ottoman conquest in 1453, Sultan Mehmed II converted it into a mosque. In 1935, it became a museum under the secular Turkish Republic, welcoming millions of visitors from around the world. The building returned to mosque status in 2020, with part of its upper floor opening again as a museum in 2024. Recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, Hagia Sophia remains one of the most iconic symbols of faith, power, and architectural genius in human history. More than 6 centuries ago, Bodrum Castle rose from the stones of one of the ancient world's wonders, the Mausoleum of Halicarnassus. Built by the Knights of St. John starting in 1402, the fortress became a key stronghold against the rising power of the Ottoman Empire. When the Ottomans captured the castle in 1523, the chapel was transformed into a mosque, and a tall minaret soon joined the skyline. Centuries later, the building served many roles from prison to military base before standing empty for decades. In the 1960s, Bodrum Castle found new life as the Museum of Underwater Archaeology, displaying treasures from shipwrecks along Turkey's coast. Visitors today can still see marble carvings and reliefs taken from the mausoleum, now built into the fortress walls. Recognized on UNESCO's tentative World Heritage List, Bodrum Castle remains a rare place where medieval Europe, the Ottoman Empire, and ancient Caria all meet in stone. Once home to thousands, Kayaköy now stands silent, a hillside of empty stone houses and roofless churches frozen in time. This ghost town in southwestern Turkey was once called Livisi, a thriving Greek Orthodox community living alongside Turkish Muslim neighbors for centuries. In the early 20th century, war, persecution, and the 1923 population exchange between Greece and Turkey emptied the village almost overnight. More than 6,000 residents left their homes behind, many resettling in Greece, while newcomers refused to move in, spooked by stories of ghosts. Today, over 500 buildings remain in ruins, including 2 Greek Orthodox churches that still watch over the valley. The village is preserved as a museum, protected by the Turkish government, and offers a rare glimpse into a vanished way of life. From high above, Butterfly Valley looks like a secret paradise, a narrow canyon opening to a strip of golden sand and turquoise water. Hidden at the base of towering cliffs in Fethiye, Turkey, it can only be reached by boat or on foot. The valley gets its name from the more than 100 species of butterflies that live here, including the striking Jersey tiger moth. A small creek flows through the valley, fed by 2 waterfalls that tumble down from nearby Ayia village. Visitors can camp by the beach, explore shaded trails, or try canoeing in the calm bay. Protected as a first-degree natural site since 1995, no permanent buildings are allowed, only tents and simple wooden huts. In the dusty plains of southeastern Turkey, a village rises from the earth in the shape of hundreds of cones. This is Harran, famous for its ancient beehive houses, a tradition that has lasted for over 3,000 years. Made entirely from mud bricks, these windowless domes keep out the searing heat and stay cool even in the hottest summers. The cone shape also helps the houses survive earthquakes, heavy rains, and fierce winds. Each dome is topped with a small opening that lets hot air escape, making the design both beautiful and practical. Families expand their homes by building more domes side by side, connected by archways. Local legend says Icarus fell into the sea here after flying too close to the sun. In the myth, Icarus and his father escaped a tower using wings made of feathers and wax, but the heat melted them, and Icarus plunged into the waves. Göcek is the place where locals say his journey ended, a story that adds a mythical layer to its already dramatic landscape. This small town in Turkey's Muğla province has a population of just under 5,000. It lies between Fethiye, once known as Telmessos, and Dalyan, the ancient city of Kaunos. In Ottoman times, its sheltered harbor served ships carrying chrome ore mined from the surrounding mountains. The coastline here is unusual. A wide, quiet bay, scattered with 12 islands and dozens of coves, many accessible only by boat. Because Göcek was declared a special protection area in 1988, no building is taller than 2 stories, preserving an open view of the mountains and sea. Köprülü Canyon is a national park in Antalya, Turkey, covering 366 square kilometers. Its canyon walls rise up to 100 meters and stretch 14 kilometers along the Köprü River. The name means the canyon with bridges, taken from 2 ancient stone bridges at the rafting start point. The river begins in Sütçüler and flows to the sea in Antalya, offering rafting for up to 7,000 people a day in summer. Its clear water is safe to drink, even during the busiest rafting season. The park's height ranges from 150 to 1,505 meters, creating different climate zones and supporting all Mediterranean plant species. Mediterranean forests, high mountain ecosystems, and rivers make it a rich habitat for wildlife. While beaches nearby can reach 50 degrees Celsius in summer, the canyon stays cool with its green valleys and mountain river. Located 92 kilometers from Antalya city, it attracts daily rafting tours from nearby hotels. Antalya has just been ranked the 4th most visited city in the world, drawing over 16.5 million foreign visitors in 2023. Once a port on the ancient Silk Road, it connected traders and travelers from Asia and Europe for centuries. The city still carries the marks of those journeys, from its Roman-era Hadrian's Gate to the winding streets of its old harbor. Founded around 200 BC by King Attalus II of Pergamon, Antalya soon became part of the Roman Empire, and later the Seljuk and Ottoman realms. Each empire left behind its own architecture, culture, and traditions, turning the city into a living timeline. The Taurus Mountains rise behind the coast, shaping a climate with mild green winters and long, hot summers. That's why the Mediterranean here stays warm enough for swimming for much of the year. What if I told you there's a waterfall in Turkey that dives straight into the sea? This is Duden Waterfalls, a breathtaking wonder in the Antalya province of southern Turkey. Here, the Duden River has been shaping the land for thousands of years, carving caves and streams before bursting into these stunning falls. There are actually two waterfalls to explore: the peaceful Upper Duden, surrounded by green trees, and the dramatic Lower Duden, dropping 40 meters into the Mediterranean. At the Upper Duden, you can stroll through shady trails, have a picnic, or spot birds hiding in the leaves. At the Lower Duden, you can take a boat ride to feel the mist on your face, or explore a hidden cave behind the curtain of water. The best time to visit is spring or fall, when the weather is mild and the water flows at its strongest. No matter when you come, remember to stay safe on the paths and protect the beauty of this place for everyone to enjoy. The Süleymaniye Mosque is a grand hilltop masterpiece built in the 16th century by Sultan Süleyman the Magnificent. Designed by the great architect Sinan, this mosque took over 3,500 workers nearly 10 years to complete. The mosque is a stunning sight, with its huge dome towering 174 feet high and 4 slender minarets reaching for the sky. But Süleymaniye is more than just a mosque. It was once a full complex with a bathhouse, hospital, public kitchen, and schools. In its peaceful garden, you'll find the tombs of Sultan Süleyman, his wife Roxlana, and other important rulers. Though damaged by fire and earthquakes over the centuries, the mosque has been carefully restored to keep its original beauty. It stands as a symbol of Ottoman grace and architectural skill at its very best. A waterfall that transforms its appearance with every passing season feels like nature's own masterpiece. Muradiye Waterfall, located in eastern Anatolia, plunges 18 meters down from the Bendi Mahi stream, which is fed by the snow-capped Tendurek mountain. spanning nearly 60 meters wide. Its roaring waters create a breathtaking curtain, visible from both upper and lower platforms. In spring, Muradia's surroundings burst into color with vibrant wildflowers blooming along the rocky edges. Winter turns the cascade into a shimmering display of ice crystals, transforming the landscape into a frozen wonderland. Surrounded by untouched forests and lush greenery, the area offers a peaceful retreat for campers and nature lovers. Named after Ottoman Sultan Murad IV, who passed nearby on a historic military campaign, the waterfall carries echoes of history in its flow. Visitors feel the raw power of rushing water alongside the calm beauty of this natural sanctuary. Amasya, located along the Yeşil River in northern Turkey, was the capital for the kings of Pontus more than 2,000 years ago. Its strategic position between the Black Sea and Anatolia made it a prized jewel for many empires, including the Romans and Ottomans. Atop a rocky summit in Amasya lie the ruins of a castle that silently tells stories of centuries of battles and empires. Strabo, the renowned ancient geographer, was born in Amasya and documented its rich history. During the Ottoman period, Amasya flourished as a cultural center with mosques and libraries attracting scholars from afar. Five bridges span the Yeşil River, connecting old neighborhoods filled with traditional architecture and lively markets. Despite suffering damage from earthquakes over centuries, Amasya's heritage remains alive through its buildings and local stories. Rising high above Istanbul's skyline, one mosque holds the record as one of the largest in the world. The Grand Shamlika Mosque, completed in 2019, can host up to 63,000 worshippers, making it a true monument of faith and community. Situated on Shamlika Hill, the mosque is visible from many parts of the city, marking its presence as a modern landmark. Its six towering minarets symbolize the six pillars of Islamic faith, standing proudly up to 107 meters tall. The central dome measures 34 meters wide, reflecting Istanbul's license plate number, while its height honors the 72 nations that call the city home. Designed with inspiration from classical Ottoman architecture and the legendary Mimar Sinan, the mosque blends tradition with modern engineering. The building's massive gates are among the largest of any place of worship worldwide, weighing several tons each. Nanotechnology was used to color the mosque's golden finial, making it not only grand in size, but advanced in design. Grand Çamlıca Mosque is more than a religious site. It's a symbol of Istanbul's diverse culture and architectural ambition. An ancient city built between land and sea, Knidos once controlled important maritime routes in the Mediterranean. Located on the Datça Peninsula, Knidos was uniquely spread across a mainland and an island connected by a causeway, creating two natural harbors. Its walls, remarkably preserved in many places, show the city's former strength in strategic military design. Archaeologists still uncover remains that reveal urban planning and architectural achievements dating back over 2 millennia. Knidos was part of the Dorian Hexapolis, a league of 6 cities with strong cultural and political ties. The city's location on the edge of the Gulf of Gokova made it a vital hub for trade and naval power in ancient Caria. Knidos also inspired ancient Greek philosophers and travelers, becoming a center for knowledge and culture. Its ruins remain a powerful testament to the city's enduring legacy on the coast of what is now modern Turkey. Ephesus, founded in the 10th century BC, grew to become a shining jewel of the Ionian coast in what is now Turkey. It was home to the Temple of Artemis, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, drawing pilgrims and travelers from far and wide. The city boasted grand structures like the Library of Celsus, and a theater that could seat 24,000 spectators, revealing its cultural richness. Ephesus played a vital role in early Christianity, hosting important councils and possibly being the place where the Gospel of John was written. Over centuries, invasions and natural disasters gradually dimmed its power, with the harbor silting up and earthquakes causing destruction. Despite its decline, the city's ruins still captivate visitors today, offering a tangible link to a vibrant past. Designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site, Ephesus remains one of the world's most impressive archaeological treasures. More than 3,000 years ago, Smyrna, now Izmir, was a key trading city on the Aegean coast. Its location at the head of a natural gulf made it a perfect port for ships traveling across the Mediterranean Sea. Archaeological evidence shows people have lived here since the Neolithic period, nearly 8,500 years ago. The city's ancient name, Smyrna, comes from a plant called myrrh, which was one of its main exports in ancient times. Izmir was an important center for trade, politics, and culture throughout classical antiquity. Legends say it was founded either by the Amazon warrior Smyrna or by King Tantalus of Phrygia. Today, Izmir remains Turkey's third largest city, combining its rich history with modern urban life along the Aegean coast. The city is famous for its bustling waterfront, lively bazaars, and a population known to be among the happiest in Turkey. Built around 150 AD, this Roman temple honors Apollo, the god of music, harmony, and light. In the ancient town of Side on Turkey's Mediterranean coast, the Temple of Apollo stands as a testament to Roman architectural skill during the peaceful Pax Romana era. For centuries, 5 towering columns have stood side by side, weathering time and nature's tests. Restoration efforts between the 1980s and 2017 carefully repaired damaged columns using materials faithful to the original construction. The temple's elegant design once welcomed worshippers seeking divine harmony and guidance from Apollo himself. The site remains a major attraction, inviting visitors to explore its ancient stones and imagine ceremonies of the past. Despite challenges, the temple's enduring presence connects us directly to the cultural and religious life of ancient Caria. Legend says Kaunos was founded by a prince fleeing a tragic love story, a tale as old as the city itself. According to myth, Kaunos had a twin sister named Byblis, who fell deeply in love with him, a forbidden love that forced him to escape and build a new city. This story gave birth to both the city's name and a river said to flow from Byblis's endless tears of sorrow. Near today's town of Gallia, Kaunos once thrived as a powerful port city, controlling important trade routes along the Mediterranean. The city's unique position between land and sea included two harbors separated by a narrow causeway, strengthening its naval power. Over centuries, shifting sands and river silting pushed Kaunos farther from the coast, ending its time as a major maritime hub. Ruins of walls, tombs, and buildings still tell the story of a city where Greek, Roman, and Carian cultures blended. Excavations begun in the 1960s continue to reveal new parts of Kaunos's long and layered history. Today, the ancient city stands quietly as a reminder of myth, history, and the passage of time. Bodrum used to be called Halicarnassus and had one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Bodrum is a town in Turkey by the sea, with about 200,000 people living there. It was first founded by the Dorian Greeks, and later became part of the Persian Empire. The Mausoleum of Mausolus, a huge and famous tomb, was built here by Mausolus's wife Artemisia in 353 BC. In 334 BC, Alexander the Great's army captured the city after a long siege. The Knights Hospitaller came to Bodrum in 1402 and used stones from the old tomb to build Bodrum Castle. After 1522, the town became part of the Ottoman Empire when Suleiman the Magnificent conquered Rhodes. Today, Bodrum is famous for its beautiful beaches, busy port, and friendly people. Varzia was built in the 12th century as both a monastery and a refuge during turbulent times in Georgian history. The cave complex includes living quarters, tunnels, and irrigation systems, showing advanced medieval engineering. For centuries, monks created literary and artistic works that made Varzia a vital cultural center in the Caucasus. After the Ottoman conquest in the 16th century, the monastery was abandoned, but its stones still tell stories of resilience, Legends say the name Varzia comes from Queen Tamar's reassuring words when she was lost in the caves during a hunt. Excavations revealed that the site was inhabited long before the monastery, linking it to ancient Bronze Age cultures. Varzia stands as a remarkable testimony to Georgia's faith, history, and ingenuity carved in stone. Once a modest settlement, Telavi grew to become the beating heart of Georgia's Kakheti region. By the 10th century, it was recognized by travelers like Al-Muqaddasi as a thriving Christian city among important Caucasus centers. In the 12th and 13th centuries, Telavi flourished as a political capital during Georgia's golden era, hosting kings and fostering culture. The city's fate shifted in the 15th century when Georgia fragmented and Telavi's status declined to a small trade town. But Telavi rose again in the 17th century, reclaiming its role as the kingdom's capital and cultural hub. King Erikle II, born and buried here, transformed Telavi through reforms, education, and the arts during the 18th century. His legacy as a symbol of Georgian independence still resonates in the city's theaters, churches, and streets. Under Russian rule, Tel Aviv lost political status but kept its identity through commerce, crafts, and winemaking traditions. Signagi is a small town in eastern Georgia, sitting high on a hill with a great view of the Alazani Valley. The town is famous for its pastel-colored houses and narrow cobblestone streets that feel like stepping back in time. Its name comes from an old Turkic word meaning shelter, because it was once a safe place for people. In 1762, King Heraclius II built a fortress here to protect the town from attacks by nearby tribes. By 1801, when Georgia became part of the Russian Empire, Signagi was officially recognized as a town. During the 19th century, many Armenians lived in Signagi and had schools and churches throughout the town. Some old Armenian churches still stand, but many have changed over time and are now used by other communities. Now, Signagi is a popular tourist spot for its beautiful views, rich history, and its location in Georgia's famous wine region. Did you know monks once hid inside towering stone spires carved by nature itself in Pasha Valley? The stunning mushroom-shaped pinnacles here, some reaching over 30 feet high, formed through centuries of volcanic ash erosion, create an otherworldly landscape. In times long past, Byzantine monks sought solitude in Pasha, carving tiny chapels and living in these natural stone towers to escape turmoil. UNESCO recognized Pasha's unique cultural and natural importance by naming it a World Heritage Site. Uplistike means the Lord's Fortress and is one of the oldest towns carved into rock in Georgia. It sits high on a rocky hill by the Mtkvari River and shows a mix of ancient cultures from Anatolia and Iran. People have lived here since the end of the 2nd millennium BC, making it one of Georgia's oldest settlements. Uplistsike was a powerful political and religious center before Christianity spread in Georgia. The town has caves carved into the mountain, including a big ceremonial hall with stone pillars and a ruler's seat. The town was protected by natural barriers like the river and man-made walls and moats. Archaeologists found gold, silver, and ancient pottery here, now kept in the National Museum of Georgia. Today, visitors can explore this amazing cave city, though parts were damaged by an earthquake in 1920. Did you know that hidden deep in the Caucasus Mountains lies a giant sleeping volcano that hasn't erupted in over 2,700 years? Meet Mount Kazbek, one of Georgia's most stunning natural wonders. Rising to 5,054 meters, Kazbek is the highest mountain in eastern Georgia and the third tallest in the whole country. Its snowy peak towers right above the small town of Stepantsminda, making it the most famous landmark in the region. According to folklore, the hero Amirani was chained to this mountain as punishment for stealing fire from the gods and giving it to humans. The area is protected as a nature reserve, filled with forests and colorful alpine meadows. The first recorded ascent was in the 1800s, but locals had been exploring its slopes much earlier. Mount Kazbek's name has many stories too. Some say it means nobleman in an ancient language, while others connect it to local heroes. In Georgian, it's called Mkinvartsveri, which means freezing cold peak, a perfect name for this icy giant. High up on a steep mountain under Mount Kazbek, you'll find a special church called Gergeti Trinity Church. This beautiful church sits 2,170 meters above sea level, right near the little village of Stepantsminda in Georgia. Built in the 14th century by an unknown architect, it is the only cross-cupola church in the Kevi region. The church has its own separate bell tower, built not long after the church itself. Because it stands all alone on top of the mountain, surrounded by endless nature, it has become a symbol of Georgia. Long ago, when danger came, people would bring precious treasures here to keep them safe, including St. Nino's cross. During Soviet times, religious services were banned, but this church stayed popular with visitors from all over. Today, Göreme Trinity Church is still an active place of worship for the Georgian Orthodox Church, and many hikers love to visit it after a tough 1.5-hour climb. Nestled high in the mountains of Georgia is a small town called Stepantsminda. This town used to be called Kazbegi, but today it's named after a monk named Stefan who once lived here. Long ago, Stefan helped the people move to a safer place to avoid dangerous snow avalanches. Stepantsminda sits along the Terek River, 1,740 meters above sea level, surrounded by huge mountains on every side. The weather here changes a lot. Cold winters with snow and cool summers that feel fresh and clean. In fact, the coldest winter days can reach -34 degrees Celsius, while the warmest summer days can be as high as 32 degrees. Right next to the town stands the famous Mount Kazbek, a giant snowy peak that watches over the whole region. Tbilisi sits along the banks of the Kura River and is home to over 1.3 million people, almost 1/3 of the entire country's population. The city was founded way back in the 5th century by King Vakhtang Lifmuk of Iberia and has served as the heart of many Georgian kingdoms ever since. Because it lies between Europe and Asia, Tbilisi has long been a cultural and trading crossroads, especially during the time of the famous Silk Road. Walking through Tbilisi, you'll see a unique mix of architecture, from medieval castles to modern buildings, from classical styles to colorful Art Nouveau. The city's name means warm place in Georgian, inspired by the many natural hot springs bubbling beneath its streets. Despite its long and sometimes turbulent history, Tbilisi remains a welcoming city full of life, culture, and history. The Caucasus Mountains rise dramatically, forming a natural fortress between the Black Sea and the Caspian Sea. The jagged peaks and deep valleys create a rugged landscape that has shaped local cultures and wildlife for thousands of years. Glaciers and alpine meadows scatter across the ranges, offering breathtaking views and rare ecosystems. The mountains act as a climatic barrier, producing diverse weather patterns on each side, influencing everything from vegetation to human settlement. Steep cliffs and hidden caves have served as refuges and sacred sites throughout history. These mountains remain a symbol of wild beauty, challenge, and the powerful forces of nature sculpting the land. Perched high above the Devil's Valley, this monument honors two nations bound by centuries of shared history. Built in 1983, it commemorates 200 years since the Treaty of Georgievsk, symbolizing Soviet-era friendship between Georgia and Russia. The circular stone and concrete structure overlooks the Georgian Military Highway, a vital route through the Caucasus Mountains. Inside, a vast tile mural wraps the monument, illustrating key moments from both Georgian and Russian pasts. The artwork reflects scenes of cooperation, struggle, and cultural unity across turbulent decades. Though times have changed, the monument remains a powerful reminder of connection between neighboring peoples. This site invites reflection on friendship's complexities amid the rugged Caucasus landscape. Batumi is Georgia's second-largest city, sitting right on the coast of the Black Sea. This city is famous for its mix of modern skyscrapers and charming old buildings in the historic Old Town. Batumi's location in a subtropical zone gives it warm weather and beautiful palm trees. It has a busy port that helps trade and a growing tourism scene known for casinos, earning it the nickname the Las Vegas of the Black Sea. Batumi's history goes back to ancient times when it was a Greek colony called Bathos, meaning "O Deep Harbor." Over centuries, it was ruled by the Ottomans, Russians, and briefly by the British before becoming part of modern Georgia. The city grew fast in the late 1800s, thanks to oil pipelines and the railroad connecting it to other regions. Batumi welcomes visitors with sandy beaches, lively streets, and a mix of cultures and traditions. Mosque stands as one of the world's oldest continuously inhabited cities, cradled by mountains and rivers in Georgia. This ancient city was once the beating heart of the Kingdom of Iberia, a powerful center of culture and politics. Its walls, built by early Georgian kings, protected a thriving community rich with palaces and temples. Here, Christianity found a home early on, transforming Mosque into a sacred place where faith and tradition intertwined. The Svetitskhoveli Cathedral, built atop older foundations, holds deep religious significance with relics said to connect Georgia to Jerusalem. Strategically placed fortresses like Armazi stood as guardians through centuries of conflict and change. Though the capital shifted away, Mosque's role as a spiritual center never faded, witnessing royal ceremonies for generations. Here's a fact many don't know. The mountain air of Batumi contains natural elements that aid recovery from lung and blood conditions. Located at nearly 2,000 meters on the Arsiani Ridge, Batumi is blanketed by dense pine and fir forests. Summer temperatures average around a cool 17 degrees Celsius, creating a refreshing escape from the heat below. During winter, temperatures rarely fall below -5 degrees Celsius, making it milder than many other alpine areas. People with respiratory problems, chronic illnesses, and anemia frequently visit Bashumi to benefit from its clean air. The resort's prime season runs from June through September, when visitors enjoy both health and nature. The road to Bashumi follows the Akaristskali River Valley, revealing traditional mountain homes and centuries-old shrines. Fresh air combined with quiet natural surroundings makes Bashumi a unique therapeutic destination in Ajara. Imagine a village where centuries-old defensive towers still stand guard against mountain winds and time. This is Adishi. Situated at 2,040 meters in Svaneti, Adishi's stone towers were built to protect inhabitants from medieval invasions. The village's 12th century church is architecturally notable for its circular layout and pointed conical roof. Adishi also hosts several churches dating back to the 10th and 11th centuries, enriching its historical significance. The village's isolation helped preserve these structures with little alteration from modern construction. Stone and wood are the primary materials used in local houses, built to resist harsh mountain climates. Tusheti National Park covers over 113,000 hectares of rugged mountains and pristine forests in eastern Georgia. Among its unique flora are pine groves of Pinus sosnovskae and birch species like Betula litwinowi that thrive in these highlands. The park's birdlife includes golden eagles, falcons, and lammergeiers, attracting birdwatchers worldwide. Large mammals such as Anatolian leopards, bears, wolves, and chamois roam its vast wilderness. Visitors can explore 11 different trails offering options for hiking, horseback riding, and wildlife observation. Tusheti's cultural heritage shines during folk festivals, where traditional music, local cuisine, and archery contests bring the community together. One of Europe's highest inhabited places, Uşguli village sits over 2,100 meters above sea level. Its isolation has preserved hundreds of medieval stone towers, built between the 9th and 12th centuries for protection. These defensive towers rise between traditional stone houses, forming a unique architectural landscape. The village's La Maria Church, dating to the 12th century, contains frescoes from Georgia's Golden Age. Snow covers the area for half the year, and roads often become impassable, maintaining its remote character. Around 200 people live in these villages, supporting a small school and a close-knit community. The harsh mountain climate shaped both the construction techniques and the resilient lifestyle of its inhabitants. This historic region earned UNESCO World Heritage status due to its outstanding cultural and architectural preservation. Gudaury is a famous ski resort located 2,200 meters up in the Greater Caucasus Mountains in Georgia. It's about 120 kilometers north of Tbilisi, near the Javari Pass on the Georgian military highway. The ski slopes here are above the tree line, which means lots of fresh snow and safe runs away from avalanches. Gudaury has over 76 kilometers of ski runs and 18 ski lifts that take you from 1,990 meters all the way up to 3,279 meters. If you want more adventure, you can try heli-skiing, where a helicopter takes you to untouched mountain spots between 1,500 and 4,200 meters high. People also come here to try speed riding and paragliding, with experts guiding them in the skies. The ski season lasts from December to April, so there's plenty of time to enjoy winter sports. Have you heard about Martvili Canyon, a hidden natural treasure in western Georgia? This canyon was carved by the green waters of the Abasha River and stretches about 2.4 kilometers long. It's famous for its limestone cliffs, waterfalls up to 15 meters high, and 2 natural stone bridges. Long ago, Martvili Canyon was a private bath for a noble family, and even has a staircase said to be used by famous Georgian kings. Scientists found dinosaur footprints and ancient bones here, showing how this area tells stories from millions of years ago. The canyon is surrounded by thick forests with special trees like yew and chestnut, and home to many animals like trout and bats. More visitors are discovering Martvili, but safety rules now help protect both people and nature. The water stays cold all year, making it a refreshing and beautiful place to explore. Imagine a limestone pillar rising over 40 meters high, crowned by one of the world's most isolated churches. This is Katski Pillar, located in western Georgia's Imeritai region. It overlooks a small river valley and stands as a natural monument. This rock was unknown to climbers until 1944, when the first successful ascent revealed ruins of early medieval hermitages. Archaeological studies date the monastery remains to the 9th or 10th century, with inscriptions suggesting activity continued into the 13th century. Local legends say the pillar symbolizes the true cross and was once connected to a nearby church by a long iron chain. The monastic chapel on top was restored between 2005 and 2009 as part of a national heritage program. A monk named Maxim Kavdaradze lived atop the pillar for 20 years, descending only twice weekly, continuing a centuries-old tradition. Religious practices associated with stylites, ascetics living on pillars, have been confirmed here through historic evidence. Kutaisi is one of the oldest continuously lived-in cities in the world and the capital of Georgia's Imeritai region. It sits on the Rioni River, about 221 kilometers west of Tbilisi and is Georgia's fourth largest city. In ancient times, Kutaisi was the political center of Colchis, the kingdom from the Greek legend of Jason and the Argonauts. During the Middle Ages, it served as the capital of the Kingdom of Abkhazia and later, the unified Kingdom of Georgia. From the 15th century until 1810, it was the capital of the Kingdom of Imereti, before being annexed by the Russian Empire. Kutaisi's history includes dramatic events, like its reconquest in 1770, with the help of King Heraclius II and Russian troops. The city was once a major industrial center, but after Georgia's independence in 1991, many locals began working abroad. From 2012 to 2018, Kutaisi even hosted Georgia's parliament in a modern glass building to decentralize political power. More than 1,600 years ago, on this very hill, kings and empires built a fortress so strong that it still stands today. This is Narikala Fortress, overlooking Tbilisi and the Emtkvari River from a steep, rocky slope. The fortress is made of two walled sections that stretch across the hilltop. In the lower courtyard, you'll find St. Nicholas Church, rebuilt in 1996 to 1997 after the original 13th century structure was destroyed by fire. Narikala's walls have been expanded and rebuilt many times, first by Persians in the 4th century, then by Arab rulers in the 7th, and later by Georgian kings such as David the Builder. Even the Mongols left their mark, giving it the name Narinkala, meaning Little Fortress. Much of what we see today comes from the 16th and 17th centuries. From the top, you can clearly see how the fortress was positioned to control both the river and the city. This strategic location is exactly why it remained important for so many different rulers across history. Over 2,800 years old, Yerevan is older than Rome, yet it still beats with modern life. Founded in 782 BC by King Argishti I of Urartu, it began as the fortress of Erebuni on the Ararat Plain. That stronghold was built as an administrative and religious hub, marking the city's first chapter in history. Centuries later, Yerevan would rise and fall through invasions, earthquakes, and mass deportations under the Safavid Empire. In 1828, its fate changed again when it became part of the Russian Empire, drawing Armenians back to their ancestral land. By the early 20th century, thousands of genocide survivors found refuge here, reshaping the city's population and character. The Soviet era transformed Yerevan from a modest town into Armenia's cultural and industrial heart. Since independence in 1991, the city has embraced new growth while preserving traces of its ancient roots. Legend says the spear that pierced Jesus' side once rested within these ancient walls. Geghard Monastery, partly carved from the cliffs of the Azat River Gorge, has stood since the 4th century. It was founded by Gregory the Illuminator at a cave spring once sacred in pre-Christian times. The name Geghard, meaning spear, honors the holy relic brought here by Apostle Thaddeus. Though the original monastery was destroyed by Arab invaders in the 9th century, it rose again in the 13th century under the Protean princes. For centuries, pilgrims traveled here not just for the relic, but for the spiritual weight of its setting. UNESCO now protects the site, recognizing both its historical and religious significance. Tucked inside a narrow gorge with towering red cliffs, Noravank is one of Armenia's most striking medieval monasteries. Founded in the early 12th century, it became a major religious and cultural center under the bishops of Sayunik, The complex is best known for its two-story Holy Mother of God church, built by master architect Cyrannus. The famed sculptor and miniaturist Monastery also worked here, leaving behind detailed stone carvings and Kachkars. Even in partial ruin, the craftsmanship of its facades reflects the artistic heights of medieval Armenia. For 13 years, St. Gregory the Illuminator was held in a deep underground cell here at Khor Virab. Imprisoned by King Tiridates III for refusing to renounce his Christian faith, Gregory was left to die. A local Christian widow, guided by dreams, secretly kept him alive by lowering bread into the pit. During this time, Tiridates persecuted Christians and murdered the nun Ripsime along with her companions. The king soon descended into madness, said to have wandered like a wild animal until his sister had a vision. In that vision, an angel revealed that Gregory could cure him and end the suffering in the land. When Gregory was brought out, he restored the king's sanity and forgave his former captor. In 301 AD, Tiridates declared Christianity the state religion, making Armenia the first Christian nation in the world. Today, visitors can walk the quiet monastery grounds and take in breathtaking views of Mount Ararat rising in the distance. A first-century temple, once lost to time and earthquakes, now stands tall again, and it's the only pagan temple left in the country. This is Garni Temple, a breathtaking survivor from the ancient world. It was built almost 2,000 years ago by King Tiridates I to honor Mir, the god of the sun. The temple follows the elegant Ionic style, just like the ones in ancient Greece and Rome. It stands on a cliff 1,400 meters above sea level, looking down at the deep, wild Azat River Gorge. Back then, this wasn't just a temple. It was part of a royal fortress with palaces, baths, and strong walls guarding the Ararat Plain. In 1679, a huge earthquake broke the temple into pieces, leaving the stones scattered for centuries. But between 1969 and 1975, Armenian architects carefully rebuilt it using the original stones. Garni Temple is more than history. It's a bridge between Armenia's pagan past and the beauty of the ancient world. Perched on the edge of the Kasag Gorge, with Mount Aragats watching over it, Sagmosavank has been a guardian of faith, knowledge, and culture for centuries. Its story begins in the 4th century, when Saint Gregory the Illuminator built a small church here and filled it with the sound of psalms. Centuries later, the Seljuk invasions forced monks into the caves of the gorge, where they carried on their spiritual mission in secret. Today, the monastery's silhouette rises sharply against the sky, a breathtaking sight above the gorge. High on a rocky peninsula overlooking the shimmering waters of Lake Sevan stands Safranbolu, one of Armenia's most iconic landmarks. Founded in 874 AD by Princess Mariam, daughter of King Ashot I, the monastery was once a place of exile for monks seeking solitude and penance. Surrounded by water on 3 sides, it offered both isolation and protection, a spiritual fortress in the heart of Armenia. Through centuries of invasions and upheavals, Safranbolu endured, its black tough stone churches standing firm against the wind and snow. From here, monks could see the endless horizon of the lake, its waters changing from deep sapphire to silver with the shifting light. In summer, the air is filled with the scent of wildflowers. In winter, the lake glitters under a crown of ice. Here, history, faith, and nature meet in perfect harmony. On the edge of a sheer cliff above the Vorotin River Gorge, Tatev Monastery seems to float between earth and sky. Built in the 9th century, it became the beating heart of Sunni's spiritual and cultural life. By the Middle Ages, it housed one of Armenia's most important universities, where scholars advanced science, philosophy, and art, even as the world around them shook with invasions and wars. Legends say its name comes from a builder's desperate cry, "Tatev," or "Give me wings," as he fell from the church's dome during construction. Somehow, he landed unharmed, and Tatev has carried the spirit of that miracle ever since. In Victory Park, a 51-meter sentinel stands with sword in hand, gaze unflinching. She is Mother Armenia, a copper-clad embodiment of the nation's strength, resilience, and unbreakable will. But she has a secret past. Her pedestal once bore the towering figure of Joseph Stalin, removed in 1962 amid chaos and even bloodshed. In 1967, sculptor Ara Harutyunyan gave Armenia a new guardian, modeled after a 17-year-old girl named Genya Muradian, her youthful face carrying the weight of centuries. Inside the basalt pedestal lies the Mother Armenia Military Museum, where relics from World War II and the Nagorno-Karabakh conflict speak in the silence of steel and photographs. Every May 9th, thousands walk up to lay flowers, honoring heroes beneath her watchful eyes. Haghartsen is a medieval treasure built between the 10th and 13th centuries with 3 main churches. Legend says its name comes from the Armenian words for plane and eagle, as if the great birds danced in the air above it. It was a place of royal rest, believed to be the burial site of kings from the Kurakian branch of the Bagratuni dynasty. The monastery faced destruction by Seljuk invaders in the 11th century, but rose again under the care of the Zakarid princes, Zakare and Ivan. Ivan even left a touching inscription in memory of his brother, gifting an orchard to ensure prayers would be said for him forever. Haghartsen was also home to Kachatur of Tehran, a famous musician and abbot, who helped rebuild and expand the monastery. Azat Reservoir lies in Armenia's Ararat region, surrounded by the rugged Uranos Mountains. It was built in 1976 on the middle stream of the Azat River, which is part of a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Covering 2.85 square kilometers, it can hold up to 70 million cubic meters of water. Depending on the sky and sunlight, the surface can shift from deep blue to soft turquoise within hours. The surrounding slopes and hills create a dramatic backdrop, reflecting in the water on calm days. It's a rare blend of human engineering and wild beauty, standing quietly in the Armenian highlands. According to Greek myth, Aphrodite, the goddess of love and beauty, rose from the waves near this limestone rock after Cronus cast parts of Uranus into the water. The churning white foam at its base gave birth to her name, and Cyprus became her first home. For centuries, sailors and poets have linked this spot to tales of divine beauty and romance. Local lore says swimming around the rock can bless you with eternal beauty, though the waters are rough. The rock cannot be climbed, but it can be admired from the shore along the road between Paphos and Limassol. Whether seen as myth, history, or both, Aphrodite's Rock remains one of Cyprus's most iconic coastal landmarks. This is Kyrenia, a jewel on the northern coast of Cyprus. More than 3,000 years ago, two Greek heroes washed ashore after the Trojan War and built a city that still captures hearts today. According to legend, the Achaean warriors Cepheus and Praxandrus named it after their home in Greece. Over the centuries, Kyrenia flourished, protected by its mighty castle, first built by the Romans, strengthened by the Lusignans, and fortified by the Venetians. Even through conquests by Ottomans and the changes of modern history, Kyrenia has kept its charm. Today, its harbor is alive with cafes, fishing boats, and a sea breeze that whispers the city's timeless tales. It's no wonder Kyrenia is called the tourism capital of northern Cyprus. On the far southeastern edge of Cyprus, there's a place where the land just seems to lean into the Mediterranean. Cliffs rise and fall, and below them, the water is so clear you can spot the rocks on the seabed, as if they were right under your feet. Locals call it Cape Cavo Greco. It's part of a national forest park, a patch of nature where the scent of pine mixes with the salty breeze. The name comes from Old Italian, Capo Greco, meaning Greek Cape, a reminder of the many sailors who have passed by over the centuries. Some old stories even talk about a sea creature that hides in these waters. For divers, the underwater caves are a quiet, magical world, where beams of sunlight shine through the rocks like nature's stained glass. The sea and sky seem to blend together, and for a moment, you might forget the rest of the world exists. Paphos, in southwest Cyprus, is both a city and a time machine, where every stone seems to whisper a story from thousands of years ago. It's not just a beach town. It's a living blend of mythology, Roman elegance, and modern coastal charm. The city actually has two ancient identities, Old Paphos, now Kouklea, and New Paphos, which became the island's capital during Ptolemaic and Roman times. Old Paphos was home to a legendary temple dedicated to Aphrodite, attracting pilgrims from across the ancient world. New Paphos, once just its harbor, grew to become the island's political center, but it also endured pirate attacks, earthquakes, and conquests that reshaped its destiny. Today, Paphos is a vibrant coastal hub, with around 63,600 residents, blessed with Cyprus's mildest climate. Sitting 667 meters above sea level in the Sumela Valley, Kakopetria is the highest village in the region, surrounded by pine-covered slopes of the Troodos Mountains. Just 55 kilometers from Nicosia, it's a favorite summer retreat for those escaping the city heat. The Old Quarter, with its narrow stone-paved streets and wooden balconied houses, is a protected cultural heritage site. People have lived here since at least the 6th century, and archaeologists have found ancient shrines, statues of Athena and Hercules, and even spearheads from Cyprus's early history. The village's name has two stories. One says it means bad rock. Another tells of a boulder called the Couple's Rock that tragically crushed newlyweds. Today, Kakopitria blends peaceful nature, deep history, and a touch of legend. Protaras is where Cyprus shows off its brightest shades of blue. This coastal town is famous for its crystal-clear waters and soft sandy beaches, with Fig Tree Bay topping the list. In ancient times, it was home to the city-state of Lokola, where a dramatic sea battle in 306 BC saw Demetrius Poliorcetes defeat Ptolemy. It's quieter than nearby Ayia Napa, making it perfect for travelers who want the beauty of the coast without the all-night party scene. Just minutes away is Cape Greco, a headland of sea caves and hiking trails with breathtaking views over the Mediterranean. For divers, Protaras is a playground, from Green Bay with its underwater statues to the Blue Hole and the legendary Cyclops Bay. The warm, shallow waters make it a favorite for both first-time snorkelers and experienced scuba enthusiasts. This is the Akamas Peninsula, Cyprus's wild northwest corner, stretching across about 17,000 hectares of untouched beauty. It's home to state forests, quiet villages, and a rare mix of habitats, from sand dunes and rocky shores to sea caves and hidden bays. The peninsula's geology tells a story millions of years old, with rocks from the Troodos ophiolite and Mammonia complex, shaping dramatic cliffs, gorges, and raised marine terraces. Avakis Gorge, carved through sandstone, is one of its most striking natural landmarks. Akamas also carries deep historical roots, linked in legend to the Homeric hero Akamas and the Mycenaean settlers who built fortified sites, like Maa Palaio Castro. By the Hellenistic period, the region saw thriving coastal cities like Nea Paphos, Arsinoe, and the settlement at Agios Georgios Pagaia. Today, Akamas draws visitors for hiking, swimming, diving, and the rare chance to explore Cyprus in its most natural state. Imagine a city where medieval castles meet sparkling Mediterranean beaches. That's Limassol. It's not just a holiday spot. It's Cyprus's second largest city and one of its busiest hubs. Sitting between the ancient cities of Amathus and Kourion, Limassol has been a crossroads of cultures for centuries. The heart of the city still beats around the medieval Limassol Castle and the Old Port, where narrow streets are lined with cafes, shops, and history. But the city doesn't stop there. Its modern face stretches along the coastline, dotted with resorts, parks, and a buzzing nightlife. In recent years, Limassol has earned international recognition. From being named one of TripAdvisor's top up-and-coming destinations to hosting Europe's largest integrated resort, the City of Dreams Mediterranean. Here, you can dive into history in the morning, shop in luxury boutiques by afternoon, and relax with sea views by evening. Konos Beach feels like a hidden jewel tucked between the busy resorts of Ayia, Napa, and Protaras. This small, 200-meter golden sand beach is famous for its calm, crystal-clear waters protected from strong winds. It lies along the road connecting Cape Greco and Protaras, surrounded by pine trees and lush greenery. Konos is part of a national forest park that's protected under Europe's Natura 2000 network for its natural beauty. Visitors find plenty of amenities here, including sunbeds, umbrellas, a beach bar, and water sports facilities. Nearby, boats can anchor, making it a popular spot for diving and snorkeling adventures. The beach is family-friendly and quieter than many others on the island, perfect for relaxing days by the sea. Imagine an entire ancient city carved out of rose-colored sandstone cliffs. Petra, located in southern Jordan, is famously known as the Rose City due to the stunning hue of its rock formations. The site was first inhabited as early as 7000 BC and became the thriving capital of the Nabatean kingdom in the 4th century BC. The Nabateans were skilled traders, farmers, and engineers who turned Petra into a vital stop along incense trade routes. Its most iconic monument, Al-Khazneh, likely served as a royal tomb and showcases incredible craftsmanship. By the 1st century AD, Petra's population peaked around 20,000 inhabitants, reflecting its importance. After the Romans annexed it in 106 AD, the city slowly declined, especially after a major earthquake in 363 AD. Forgotten for centuries, Petra was rediscovered by a Swiss traveler in 1812 and is now Jordan's top tourist destination. UNESCO honors Petra as one of humanity's most precious cultural treasures, attracting nearly 1 million visitors yearly. Wadi Rum is a huge desert valley in southern Jordan, famous for its towering red sandstone and granite mountains. This area covers about 720 square kilometers and is the largest river valley, or wadi, in Jordan. People have lived here for thousands of years, leaving behind ancient rock drawings and ruins from different civilizations. The desert's geology is wild and beautiful, with natural bridges, sand dunes, and deep gorges shaped by wind and water. Wadi Rum is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site, protecting its unique nature and history. The Bedouin tribes live here, with a culture deeply connected to camel and desert life. Wadi Rum became famous worldwide because of T.E. Lawrence, who traveled here during the Arab Revolt and wrote a book about his adventures. Visiting Wadi Rum feels like stepping into another world, where nature and history meet under endless desert skies. Nakshi Rustam is an ancient necropolis located about 13 kilometers northwest of Persepolis in Iran. It features rock reliefs carved into the cliff face that date back more than a millennium. Four large tombs carved into the mountain hold Achaemenid kings, including Darius the Great and Xerxes. Below these tombs, massive rock carvings show Sasanian kings in battle and religious scenes. Nakshi Rustam links the power of the Sasanian Empire to the earlier Achaemenid dynasty through its impressive carvings. The site remains a vital part of Iran's history and attracts visitors interested in ancient Persian culture. Dubai is a city famous worldwide for its towering skyscrapers and rapid growth from a small fishing village. Located on the southeastern coast of the Persian Gulf, it is the largest city in the United Arab Emirates, with around 4 million residents. Once known for pearling and fishing, Dubai transformed into a global trade hub by declaring itself a free port in 1901. The city's skyline is now one of the densest and most futuristic on Earth, featuring the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world. Dubai's economy focuses on trade, tourism, aviation, finance, and real estate, with the Dubai International Financial Center among the top global financial hubs. In 2024, Dubai ranked as the 7th most visited city worldwide, drawing millions of tourists each year. Rakush Rocks, also called the Pigeon Rocks, are two massive limestone formations standing 60 meters tall, just off the coast of Beirut, Lebanon. These iconic sea stacks were formed millions of years ago by natural processes like tectonic shifts and erosion from wind and waves. Originally, the rocks were connected to the mainland by arches, but over time parts collapsed, leaving the striking isolated towers we see today. The name Pigeon Rocks comes from the pigeons that once lived there, giving the place a unique local charm. The rocks have been a symbol of Beirut's natural beauty and have inspired local art, poetry, and stories. What if I told you Abu Dhabi controls over $1 trillion in assets? This city is not only the capital of the United Arab Emirates, but also a major global financial powerhouse. Situated on a T-shaped island in the Persian Gulf, Abu Dhabi combines desert landscapes with gleaming modern architecture. Home to about 2.5 million people as of 2023, it is the UAE's second most populous city after Dubai. Abu Dhabi hosts the headquarters of the Abu Dhabi Investment Authority, one of the largest sovereign wealth funds in the world. The city is the political heart of the UAE, housing the federal government and the president's official residence. Its rapid urbanization is fueled by vast oil and gas reserves that contribute to nearly 2/3 of the country's economy. Despite this, Abu Dhabi has been investing heavily in culture, tourism, and sustainable development projects. This balance of wealth, politics, and culture makes Abu Dhabi a unique metropolis on the Arabian Peninsula. Kuwait City is the capital and largest city of Kuwait, located on the southern shore of Kuwait Bay. It serves as the political, cultural, and economic center of the country, hosting government offices and major corporations. The metropolitan area is home to around 3 million people, making up over 70% of Kuwait's population. Originally a small fishing village in the 1700s, Kuwait grew into an important trading hub between India, Persia, and Arabia. The city became known for its shipbuilding industry and was called the Marseille of the Gulf for its economic vitality. Oil discovery in 1937 transformed Kuwait, leading to rapid modernization and prosperity through the mid-20th century. Kuwait was the first Gulf country to have a constitution and parliament, reflecting its progressive political system. Situated along the Persian Gulf coast, Doha is the capital and main financial hub of Qatar. It is the fastest-growing city in Qatar, with over 80% of the nation's population living in the metropolitan area. Founded in the 1820s, Doha officially became Qatar's capital when the country gained independence in 1971. The city hosts key areas like Education City, Hamad Medical City, and Aspire Zone, known for sports and research. Doha has held many major international events, including the 2022 FIFA World Cup and various global conferences. It is recognized as a beta-level global city and an important commercial and diplomatic center at the Middle East. The city's name means roundness, inspired by the shape of its surrounding bays along the coast. Doha has a reputation for safety, ranking as the second safest city in the world according to recent crime indexes. As we wander through these incredible cities and ancient sites, it's clear that West Asia is a land where history and modern life blend seamlessly. Every corner holds stories of empires, trade, culture, and innovation that continue to shape the world today. From bustling urban centers to timeless desert landscapes, each place invites us to explore deeper and learn more. The spirit of the region is alive in its people, its architecture, and the vibrant mix of traditions passed down through generations. Thank you for joining me on this incredible exploration. And with that, our journey through West Asia comes to an end. Until next time.